If you're just starting off in learning to draw, here are 6 pieces of advice that I hope will help you get off to a great start, and more specifically, will help you to navigate a lot of the choices that will have to be made. Choices that can seem bewilderingly numerous, and at times options that all seem contradictory, people saying different things, doing things different ways. I hope these thoughts, which have certainly helped me along the way, will help you. And the first one is, have a clear idea, or as clear as you can at this point, of why am I wanting to learn to draw? It's not that anyone needs to justify wanting to learn to draw, but if I have a sense of where I want to end up with my drawing, why I'm doing that, that will give me guidance for many of the decisions I have to make. For instance, am I learning to draw simply because I think it's going to be a nice and relaxing thing to do, and well, maybe I need a bit of relaxation in my life? Or am I learning to draw because I've always dreamt of being an artist? For some reason, I've always felt I could do this, and now I want to see if I really can. Or do I want to draw because I want to be able to make products that I can sell? I want to have an online shop. I want to have digital artworks. Am I doing it because I want to be able to draw with my children or my grandchildren? So it doesn't need to be a high standard, but I want to be confident and set a good example. Do I really want to do watercolor, but I've worked out that being able to draw might be a prerequisite for being able to do the sort of watercolors I want to do? Each of these end goals will give me direction when I start to work out, well, how do I do this now? How do I learn to draw? What input will be helpful? Secondly, trust your own ability to be able to explore and discover in the drawing world. Don't think that creativity is something that some people have and other people don't have. Being creative is part of what it means to be a person. It's in our DNA. To be able to make something new, to create something that wasn't there before, is part of who we are. It's part of who you are. So have confidence that you can do it. Third point, don't get distracted with thinking about the idea of talent. One of the reasons you're starting to draw might be because people have said, oh, you're really talented with drawing, you should do it more yourself, or maybe you've thought this yourself. What I think actually is the case is that some people have life experiences that equip them to be able to draw more easily, more quickly when they actually start to learn. Perhaps they've learned to observe things more carefully for some reason. Perhaps they've learned hand-eye coordination in some other area, which means when they start to learn to draw, they have an advantage over people whose life experiences at that point haven't equipped them as well. Our starting point is our starting point. There's no advantage in trying to compare my starting point with someone else's. In fact, for many people, the idea of being talented ends up being a burden, ends up creating expectations that just put more pressure on us when we draw. Far more helpful is to think of drawing as a skill to be learned the way we would learn any skill. This next point is, if you're at the start, start and do it the way it feels intuitive for you to do it. Pick up a pen or a pencil, whatever you want to learn to draw with, and just start to draw and see what happens. See what marks you make. See how you feel about what you do and the experience. Because how you start to draw at this point is your starting point. What I think of as our natural starting point. It's where our previous experiences in drawing and with life in general put us. And it may not be where we're going to stay, but it's still our starting point. And once we start getting outside input from videos such as this, or from courses, classes, from books, it will all make more sense if we can reflect it off our starting point. Because now we have something that we can consider what we're hearing, we can consider input in light of, and decide whether this input is something that will help me or something I'm not going to worry about, at least at this point. This next point, it's important to understand there is no right way of doing things. There are no rules that we need to follow. There is no technique, which is the technique to learn. How we do things depends on really what we want to do. The techniques I use when I draw depend on the sort of drawing I want to have at the end. What works really well for one person may just be confusing for me, because firstly, we've started at different points, and where we're wanting to go with our drawings is different. This is why, going back to the first point, it's so helpful to understand, why am I doing this? What am I wanting to have at the end of my drawing process? Because this helps me work out what input will be helpful for me. I need to have confidence that I can make these choices and not think that, oh, if this artist is saying this is how you do it, then that's how I have to do it. Not at all. If one of the things I want to do with my drawing is to improve, to get better in some way, to develop to a certain standard, if that's going to tie in with why I'm drawing, then a very important thing to do is after every drawing to critique it, to look at it and to say, well, am I happy with this? But more importantly for our learning experience, what am I unhappy about in this? Not because I want to beat myself up, because working out what hasn't worked as well as I had hoped gives me direction for my next drawing, or it gives me direction for the next input I might try and find. If when I look at my drawing, I think my proportions just aren't right, then in my next drawing, I really focus on my proportions. If after a number of drawings, I'm having problems with that still, then maybe I can find a video or a chapter in a book on keeping proportions accurate when I draw. And it may not be that someone else's solution is one that I can just take and apply directly in my work, but understanding how they've solved whatever this issue is, maybe something that I can adopt and adapt and use to incorporate into my drawing, into how I'm doing it. I see things that don't work out well in my drawings as my friends, because they give me guidance and direction for where I can productively put my time, my effort, my study in my next drawing or series of drawings. This point is quite possibly one that you've done already before you've started to draw. It might be part of the reason why you've started to learn to draw, but that's to find the drawings of others that inspire you, that in some way connect with something inside you that makes you not just enjoy their drawing, but think, I can do this myself. I think I would love to at least try to do this myself. Inspiration is a wonderful motivator. If someone else has done it, there's every chance I can do my equivalent of that. But I really recommend that we be inspired by the work of others, but we don't copy the work of others. Their drawing is the end result of their creative thinking, of their working out, how will I translate what's on my reference or in front of me into marks on the paper. That's the challenge of drawing, how we do that. That's what we have to learn to do. It's not so much learning how to actually draw the marks, but it's learning the way of thinking that is the real challenge. Learning the way of understanding what I'm seeing in a way that I can then translate it into those marks. Because it's knowing what marks to put where, not actually doing the marks, but knowing what marks to put where, which is probably going to be the real challenge for most of us when we draw. And when I copy someone else's drawing, I don't learn that. I don't develop that process of creative thinking, of creative translation, because I don't need to, because I'm copying the result of their creative thinking. And while I can get a nice looking drawing faster and more easily copying someone else's drawing, it doesn't advance my learning to draw journey. In fact, it can just frustrate me, because I think I can draw really well, because I can when I copy their work, but I don't even know where to start myself when I go to do my own drawing. It's not because I can't, but it's because I've adopted a way of producing drawings that doesn't advance the skills I need to develop to be able to do my own drawings. And this final point, I will need patience if I'm learning to draw, because I will always be able to imagine things in my mind, that are beyond my ability to capture on the paper at this stage. You will be able to, in the end, capture more and more on the paper. But in the same way that those abilities and skills develop, so my thinking creativity will develop and grow. So our thinking will always be running ahead of what we can do. But that's okay. That's the way it works. It's our thinking in the end that will inspire and motivate us to persevere with the marks we're putting on the paper. This certainly is an exciting journey to be on. It can have its frustrations and challenges, certainly. But congratulations on starting, and I wish you all the best on it. G'day, I'm Stephen Travers. I hope at least some of these thoughts help you get off to a good start in your drawing journey. But hey, in the end, for whatever reason you're drawing, make sure you have fun. I'll see you next time. Bye.